Hello, guys. We welcome you all to Lockdown Live Season 2, and today is Session 4. So, we have been creating an impact and taking up all the relevant topics which are need of the hour. And today, with us, we have our very own Dr. Sharad Kohli. Hello, sir. Welcome to Lockdown Live.
Hi, Shreeya. How are you? Pleasure and a privilege to have you here and to be with you on your show, Dil Ki Awaaz, isn't it?
It's always a pleasure to connect to you because you have been such an inspiration and you have been always motivating me to do good things like you do. So I would like to introduce sir. Everybody knows about him, but still it's my honor and privilege. He's the founder for KCC Group and an ace economist, TV panelist, and we know him as a tax guru. So I welcome you here and thanks for taking out your valuable time for us today.
Thank you. Pleasure. Pleasure is all mine, and I'm sure you're doing some wonderful work on this Facebook platform.
Thank you so much. So to begin with, first of all, I would like to know brief about your inspiring journey.
Well, my journey has been very exciting, Shreya. It's been 30 long years, and I started off way back in 1990, 1989, and I became a chartered accountant and started a small little company of my own, and then all alone, totally on my own, with my father's help, I started that journey. And we today have 15 companies in all. We've got over 30 offices overseas, and all the companies are into different businesses. So a lot of people, मैं अकेला चला था लोग जुड़ते गए कारवां बनता गया so it's been a very exciting journey, very satisfying and satisfactory both, and I have no regrets, no complaints whatsoever. I've got no complaint against anybody in all these 30 years. Normally you will find people grumbling and having grudges and disgruntled with somebody and so and so. So no regrets whatsoever. I think whatever has happened to me, and I give all the credit to the Almighty.
That's very true because creators, I believe, they never crib and complain. They just create and keep on doing their impactful work. So that's really amazing. And I would like to know one thing more, that you have your, fashion lifestyle magazine as well. You are into fashion also and really, promoting that thing and interested in it. So from being a tax guru to a fashion icon, like how does it feel?
That's very contrasting. Normally, you find people who are into the world of finance and
That's
economics.
why I put this question to you.
I think it's just upon the person, the mindset. If somebody's got the mindset, and I was just sharing with somebody that about a few years ago, I was in Mumbai and I was selected for a first married men pageant, which happened for first time for the married men. And it so happened that I won the pageant. I don't know how, because so ever after that, I think that flair of fashion came, and then there was no looking back. We got our own garment brand. We've got a fashion lifestyle magazine.
That's the kind of passion you have for this particular field, fashion, I would say.
No, it just happened, Shreya. It wasn't intended. It just happened. I mean, when sometimes things just keep happening to you one after the other. So you have two options. Either you just flow with the tide, or you keep saying no. So I think probably the mistake or the right thing I did was I didn't say no. So it just kept happening, and here we are. So I personally feel that why should men be left behind, isn't it? Why should the ladies always take the pleasure of carrying themselves well and being seen on the ramp and being up to it, if I call it. So I find why should the men be left behind? So I think probably that thought must have also played some kind of role in placing me where I am right now.
वो कहते हैं ना कि हमें लगता है कि हम राहों को चुन रहे हैं, मगर राहें हमें चुन रही होती हैं based on our mindset, our interest, or our inclinations. So I can quote it in that way. Now I would like to know, to end this fashion wala topic in one sentence, that what is fashion for you?
Well, fashion for me, Shreya, is being, first of all, being comfortable. So there's no fashion where you are stressed and you're wearing something, or you're probably adorning something where you're always conscious, पता नहीं कैसी दिख रहा हूँ और ठीक हो, and you're uncomfortable or so. So first thing first is fashion should be about comfort. Then fashion should be something about you have to be contemporary. Of course, you can't be wearing a blanket in the month of June. You know what I mean? I mean what I'm trying
Right,
to say.
right,
So you have to be contemporary. Fashion is
based
about
on
being
the occasion.
contemporary. Exactly. Then fashion is about being able to give you satisfaction. I think if you feel happy about something, and you're not constantly conscious कि पता नहीं दूसरे को ये अच्छा लग रहा है कि नहीं लग रहा है, आपको अच्छा लग रहा है तो ठीक है, आपको अच्छा लग रहा है तो सारी दुनिया को अच्छा, किसी को नहीं भी अच्छा लगता, पंजाबी में कहते हैं खसमनु खा, नहीं अच्छा लगता मतलब हाउ डज
Right.
इट मैटर?
So being
मुझे ऐसा लग
comfortable.
रहा है, आई एम फीलिंग नाइस. You can't make the whole world happy, Shreya. He
Exactly,
who
exactly.
tries to make he who tries to make everyone happy makes no one happy. You know that?
True.
जो सबको खुश करने की कोशिश करता है वो किसी को भी खुश नहीं कर पाता है. So I think your own happiness. So fashion is about happiness. Fashion is about feel good. Fashion is about being contemporary. Fashion is about being very, very, very trendy. Being very up to it,
Presentable.
as they call it.
Right. So लोग सोच रहे होंगे यहाँ पे कि कहाँ मैं टैक्स गुरु से फैशन की बातें कर रही हूँ, टॉपिक से डिबेट हो रही हूँ, बट ऐसा नहीं है. So we are going to discuss the topic which is the need of the hour. So we know very well that the lockdown has completely changed the economy all around the world. And it's really very important to get some significant insights about the present situation and the future trends, like what is going to happen next. So today we are going to have a brief glimpse of the economic analysis from your side, and I would wish to get the insights, like what is the present situation according to you.
I think if you take the situation unprecedented, first of all, I mean, nobody's lifetime, unless you are 100-year-old. I mean, you've seen World War II, and even the 100-year-old must be very young at that time. So I think nobody in our lifetimes has ever seen something like this. 700 crores, 7 billion people live in 200 plus countries. Okay? Or if I put it in simpler terms, उसमें से 160 crores have become unemployed. उनके पास श्रेया
Due
अभी
to this
काम नहीं है
lockdown.
due to this lockdown, due to this pandemic. I mean, let's not only call lockdown due to the pandemic, because even if there is now, even now when, like, for example, India is opening up, a lot of other countries are opening up. पर अभी भी उनकी जॉब नहीं है, बिकॉज वो सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग और नो टच, कीप अवे, मुझसे दूर रहो, वो जो दूर दूर रहना है ना, वो बहुत लोगों की नौकरी भी ले रहा है. So I think 160 crore people are, as per IMF and World Bank estimates, have been rendered without livelihood. So it is going to increase poverty. और एक जो मजेदार बात हुई है, मुझे मजेदार नहीं कहना चाहिए बिकॉज पीपल आर सफरिंग, पर आई एम ऑन अ वेरी इनफॉर्मल प्लेटफॉर्म. मुझे लगता है कभी कभी बहुत सीरियस नहीं रहना चाहिए, थोड़ा सा हंसी मजाक भी करना चाहिए.
दिल की
बट
आवाज
मजेदार
is
बात
all
पता
about,
क्या हुई है?
दिल की आवाज is all about that expression. So you can be
So
very
so
informal and
तो
whatever you want to say.
मजेदार बात ये हुई है श्रेया कि जो आपका 500 रुपए का नोट था ना, जो आपके आपके पर्स में, आपके वॉलेट में होगा, वो अब 2000 के बराबर हो गया है. उसकी जो परचेजिंग पावर है, suddenly the value of money has increased. Because why? Because there has been erosion of wealth. मैंने ये देखा कि जो जहां पर बहुत अमीरी थी, जैसे अमेरिका है, यूरोप है, यूके, फ्रांस, जर्मनी, इटली, सो फॉर बेल्जियम, तो जहां बहुत जो अपने अमीरी का गरूर करते थे कि हम तो बहुत आई मीन वी रूल द वर्ल्ड,
Right.
nobody can match the kind of wealth we have. जो ऐसे लोग थे, उन लोगों को ज्यादा असर पड़ा है. तो मुझे लग रहा है द लॉज ऑफ एवरेजेस, नेचर ने एक ऐसी सीख दी है. आई मीन इट्स अ लेसन कमिंग फ्रॉम द प्रकृति, द नेचर, कि बेटा समझ जाओ, ज्यादा अपनी अमीरी पे उछलो मत.
इससे मुझे वो याद आ गया कि चाह गई चिंता मिटी मनुआ बेपरवाह, जिसको कुछ नहीं चाहिए वो शाहों के शाह. सो वही केस हो गया जो आपने
हाँ,
शेयर.
पर ये तो जिसको कुछ नहीं चाहिए शाहों के शाह, ये तो आपने उसकी बात करी जो रियलाइज सोल है, जिनको भगवान की प्राप्ति हो चुकी है, जो भगवान से रूबरू हो चुके हैं. पर मतलब जो लोग बहुत
It's like maintaining a balance. It's like maintaining a balance.
Yeah, I think yeah, law of averages. I mean the Prakriti or the nature has balanced out everything. कि जो बहुत अमीर, I have seen with my own eyes, मैं अभी किसी और को भी बता रहा था, I have seen with my own eyes people begging on the streets of New York. I have seen with my own eyes भुखमरी You know what is bhukmari?
Right.
Starvation on the streets of London. And I have named two of the wealthiest places because I travel to these places very often, and not in these times, of course, but I travel very often. तो मुझे वहाँ की अमीरी और वहाँ की अमीरियत और वहाँ की वेल्थ का अंदाजा है. और मैंने कभी सपने में भी नहीं सोचा था कि इस देश में, इस शहर में कभी लोग भीख मांगेंगे, कभी यहाँ पर भूखे 3-3 दिन तक भूखे रहने की नौबत आ जाएगी, 3 दिन से खाना नहीं खाया. So this is what that pandemic has done. 160 crore people losing their livelihoods, 4 crore people losing their jobs in America itself. And and the world sinking into recession. So we are expecting a minus 6% growth, a minus 6% growth in this year, in the year 2020. So I think a very, very devastating effect from an economic point of view. But there's one thing which I would like to say to your audiences, which is that the times to come are very good for India. So India as a country is going to shine. I mean, India is going to become a superpower. And you can make a note of my podcast, and आप इसको note करके कहीं पर रखो, और मुझे 1 साल 2 साल बाद आप मुझसे ये बात पूछना कि आपने ये शो तो कहीं नहीं जाता, ये तो फेसबुक की आर्काइव्स में रहेगा, आपकी टाइमलाइन पे हमेशा रहेगा.
It's on my
तो ये तो
YouTube.
फॉरएवर है. तो ऑन द यूट्यूब तो उसको खोल के देखना, और आप देखोगे कि 1 साल 2 साल बाद इंडिया विल सडनली स्टार्ट इमर्जिंग एज अ सुपर पावर, और दुनिया में इंडिया की बड़ी बड़ी शान हो जाएगी. लोग इंडियंस होंगे, तो आप आज इंडियंस कहीं जाते हैं, ठीक है, पहले से तो अभी बेटर है, पर इंडियन जाते हैं, दे आर ट्रीटेड एज थर्ड ग्रेड सिटीजन. क्या ये तो गरीब देश से आए हैं, यहाँ तो गरीबी है, लोग गाँव में क्या वो पहन के घूमते रहते हैं, गाय भैंसे चराते रहते हैं.
I think our knowledge and our values are our basic asset, which is keeping us going in every field. I
नहीं,
mean,
वो तो हमारे नहीं,
Indian brains
श्रेया,
are
वो तो हमारे पास है ही है, वो तो हम लोग जानते हैं. मैं आपको बाकी कंट्रीज में जो हमारा इंप्रेशन है उसकी बात कर रहा हूँ. उन लोगों को तो इसकी अकल नहीं है ज्यादा कि ये वैल्यूज यहाँ पर इतनी स्ट्रांग है. हालांकि वो लोग अंदर से जानते हैं कि हम लोगों की वैल्यूज, हमारी वैल्यूज ज्यादा स्ट्रांग है उनसे, पर अदरवाइज भी वो लोग देखेंगे, वो लोग हमारी तरफ देखेंगे, हमसे सीखना चाहेंगे. एंड आई थिंक वी आर इन फॉर अ वेरी वेरी गुड टाइम. जस्ट दैट थोड़ा सा
like in case of WHO, you have seen that Dr. Harshvardhan has been appointed to give the consultancy, and like Modi ji is being respected everywhere in the country. People are coming, so I think the change is happening already. What do you believe?
Absolutely. So wait for 1 or 2 years. I think it is just a phase. Once this phase is over, और मैंने as an economist and as business analyst, Shreya, मैंने 3 words निकाले हैं. First things that you should do after this crisis is survive, because जो लोग survive कर पाएंगे वो लोग आगे बढ़ पाएंगे. उसके बाद revive, थोड़ा सा आप उठने की कोशिश करें. पहले आप survive करिए, फिर आप revive करके उस लेवल पे आइए जिस लेवल पे आप पहले थे कोरोना से पहले. उसके बाद you thrive, so then you start thriving. So I think people who are able to go through the first 2 will be able to thrive without. So survive, revive, and thrive. Those are the mantras which I believe in, that with Corona. So I am very optimistic, very positive that the times to come are going to be very, very good for this country. And if it is good for the country, it's good for you and me. It's good for the rest of the 132 crore people.
Definitely. So survive, revive, and thrive. That's the mantra you have given to us, and that's really beautiful. And I have written also something that anything you can cope with knowledge and hope. So that is very important, to be positive, and that is the idea of making every show by me. So sir, now you have already explained us about the present and the future trends of economy, and that's really insightful. आपने इतने कम शब्दों में और इतनी छोटे से मतलब उस टाइम ड्यूरेशन में हमें पूरा ग्लिम्स दिखा दिया, and I'm honored for that.
श्रेया, मुझे तो आप बोलने को कहो तो मैं तो शायद पूरी रात बीत जाए और इकोनॉमी पे बोलता रहूं, पर मैंने कहा हमने दिल की आवाज के ऑडियंस को बोर तो नहीं करना है ना, उनको काम की बात, अच्छी बात बतानी है सिर्फ, isn't it?
यहाँ पे एक क्वेश्चन है नितिका का कि who will survive?
Well, who will survive? People with grit, people with determination, people who are very, very convinced on their abilities, people with self confidence, जो लोग कहेंगे हाय क्या हुआ, मर गए, लुट गए, बर्बाद हो गए, अब तो कुछ बचा ही नहीं है, उनको थोड़ी सी दिक्कत होगी। पर अगर आप पॉजिटिव रहते हैं कि यस आई कैन डू इट, आई मीन मुश्किल आया है, मुश्किल आती है तो जो स्ट्रांग लोग होते हैं ना उनका टेस्ट मुश्किलात में होता है, जब मुश्किलें आती हैं तब टेस्ट होता है। तो जो लोग मुश्किलों से लड़ पाएंगे वो सरवाइव कर पाएंगे, एंड वंस यू सरवाइव you will start reviving. Once you revive, I'm telling you, you will start thriving automatically. That is what this country is going to do to you. आपको अपने खर्चे जो आप पहले करते थे, खर्चे मुझे लग रहा है वो खर्चे आपको थोड़े से कम करने पड़ेंगे, और खर्चे तो कम हो भी गए। हमने देखा लॉकडाउन में लोगों का जो हाउस होल्ड बिल था, आई नोटिस कि वो बहुत कम हो गया। क्यों कम हो गया? क्योंकि कहीं बाहर जाना नहीं, कोई मूवी नहीं देखनी है, कोई आउटिंग्स नहीं है, खर्चे कम हो गए लोगों के इन दिनों में अपने आप ही। कोई रेस्टोरेंट नहीं जाना, होटल नहीं जाना है। संजना, नॉट नॉट इन इमीडिएट फ्यूचर आई वुड सजेस्ट अभी प्रॉपर्टी में फिलहाल थोड़ा सा आप दूर रहो तो बेटर है, क्योंकि अभी प्रॉपर्टी को रिवाइव होने में मुझे लग रहा है 2 से 3 साल लग सकते हैं, 2 साल तो कम से कम लग सकते हैं। सो I would suggest, Sanjana, if you really want to make investment, you should make, because stock markets right now are in a very attractive zone. Because वो कोरोना के बाद स्टॉक मार्केट क्रैश कर गई, तो जो वैल्यूएशन थी बहुत जमीन पे आ गई। तो स्टॉक मार्केट में बेस्ट टाइम इन्वेस्ट करने का होता है जब वो क्रैश कर जाती है। तो अभी वो क्रैश करी हुई है थोड़ी सी, बल्कि रिवाइव भी हो चुकी है अब तो, बट आई थिंक स्टिल नॉट। सो इफ यू वांट टू मेक द इन्वेस्टमेंट, आई थिंक इफ यू वांट टू टेक प्रॉपर्टी फॉर एंड यूज, yes, you go ahead, but you bargain hard with the seller. By the way, you are in a very good position right now. It's a buyer's market, but then I don't think this is a good time to invest in property as of now, because you'll have to wait for really long. Nitika is asking, how's government helping people who want to start new?
Who want to start new?
Well, Nitika, government is mostly helping by way of in two ways. They are helping by way of loans, that you can go to a bank and they will give you a loan for starting new. And very recently, about a couple of days ago, government has set up a sovereign fund where government is now going to buy equities of आपने MSME अगर सुना हो, माइक्रो स्मॉल एंड मीडियम एंटरप्राइजेस, तो अब गवर्नमेंट उसमें इक्विटी भी खरीदने की उन्होंने 50,000 करोड़ इस काम के लिए निकाले हैं, so that you can go, government can come and invest in your business. So that is the way. Other than that, I think if you go to Startup India website, they give you support on exploring international markets. They give you support on grooming you. There is some startup mentoring also, a little bit of mentoring they do. बहुत ज़्यादा तो कुछ नहीं है, but yes, there is something there which the government does for startups.
Sir, I would like to know that since you have shared this thing, that the people who are flexible and who are positive and doing something constructive the other day can survive. That's a way to survival. So I would like to know something, that what you are doing these days, so that we also get inspired or some ideas.
No, I've been, God has been kind, Shreya. So we are fine. We've got a group of 15 companies. Nitika says, thank you. My pleasure, Nitika. So we've got a group of 15 companies, and most of the companies, I think, are going on that strategy: survive, revive, and thrive. So I think we've just about managed to survive. Most of the companies have survived. We are now in the revival mode, and I think we are close to the revival mode. So once we revive, I think we should be fine. But I think if you ask me what did I do in lockdown for the 2 months, I'll be very fair and honest in saying that television channels kept me really busy. I've been doing on an average 2 to 3 shows every day, and in the 2 months, I almost did 200 shows, which is a kind of a record just in these 2 months, and this is across several channels, both English and Hindi, sometimes Punjabi also. So I've been doing those TV shows because this Corona, and why so many shows is because the Corona had two stings. One sting was on your health, and the second sting was on the economy, on your livelihood. तो एक तो इसने सेहत का नुकसान पहुंचाया, और दूसरा इसने आपकी लाइवलीहुड को, आपकी नौकरी को, आपके बिजनेस को नुकसान पहुंचाया. सो आई थिंक जब बिजनेस को पहुंचाया तो इकोनॉमी भी इफेक्ट होती है. सो आई थिंक द चैनल्स नीडेड मी मोर टू स्पीक ऑन द कोरोना इफेक्ट ऑन द इकोनॉमी. और मैंने तो ये भी कहा कि शायद सेहत के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से हम जल्दी ठीक हो जाएंगे, पर इकोनॉमिक पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से थोड़ा सा देर लगेगी उसमें से निकलने में.
India is definitely going to be an achiever and going to come with a win-win situation. And that is your analysis.
Oh yes, I'm 100% confident. You can question me after 1 or 2 years on this show. Bring
No,
those
no,
these
I
bites
am not
again, and
questioning this because I second your thought, and in fact, I would say that the external environment cannot be controlled, but we can control our interior mindset. So that is the need of the hour, according to me, because the
yeah,
power is in the
absolutely,
mind.
absolutely. And if you have that inner power, which is driving you, there is nothing which can stop you. And I think even otherwise, India as a country has got tremendous potential. We are 132 crore people. जिस population के लिए हमारे ऊपर एक हिंदी में वर्ड होता है लांछन. तो जिसके लिए हमारे ऊपर लांछन लगाया जाता है, कहा जाता है, ओ इंडियन प्रोड्यूस ओनली बेबीज एंड दिस एंड दैट, गोरे बॉडी उल्टी सीधी बातें करते हैं इंडिया
We
के
can
बारे
make
में.
it in our
तो
strength.
वो स्ट्रेंथ बन जाएगा बिकॉज 65% ऑफ आवर पॉपुलेशन श्रेया इज लेस देन 35 years old. वी आर अ वेरी यंग कंट्री. So I think
Right.
it is that the youth of our nation, the age of our nation, which will drive us to become the super. जब चाइना बना था ना श्रेया सुपर पावर, तो उस टाइम वो इसीलिए बना था क्योंकि 1980s में उनकी भी ऐसी बहुत यंग पॉपुलेशन थी. चाइनीज अब बुढ़े हो चुके हैं. उनके लिए आप इतनी
And
यंग पॉपुलेशन नहीं है.
that is why I really feel inspired by you, because you always motivate Gen X and the millenniums. So that is the reason, like it
Yeah,
is always something with
it is the young population which will drive us forward. और अगर दुनिया का बुरा हाल भी हुआ तो उसमें इंडिया will be the shining star.
Now that's beautiful. So, guys, it's time to channelize that power of affirmations and positivity. And of course, we have got the analysis as well that the future is going to be great. The sun is going to shine again. So, keep your hopes high. And, sir, thanks for joining us today and
My
answering
pleasure.
our questions, giving us some insightful knowledge about the economy in very simple words, I would say. And now, to close the session, I would just like to have an inspirational message for the audience from your side. What would you like to say?
Well, since we've been talking of positivity all through, श्रेया, हम जितनी देर बात करते रहे हम पॉजिटिविटी की बात की, तो बहुत पुराना एक शेर है, बहुत लोगों ने सुना भी होगा. Sanjana says so enthusiastic. Yes, Sanjana, I am an enthusiastic person and I
No,
cannot afford
and in
not to be
fact,
enthusiastic.
I would like to tell the audience that I really like the name of your show, which you are regularly hosting. Heavens have not fallen down. I mean, it's a beautiful
Yeah,
name,
yeah,
and the name says it
yeah.
all. So that's really
Yeah. That is being organized by some of our company. Two of our companies are doing that show. No heavens have fallen down, and now we have started another show. It's called Back to Business with a Bang. So
oh
that's a
wow.
that's a
Should
follow
I
up
do
show after
connect
that. It's called,
and get some more insights?
yeah. It's on our page. If you go to the fashion, so it probably brings people who are getting back to their business with a bang. I call it with a bang. So they are not pessimistic. They talk very well, and they say that the times to come are good. So we are getting those people who are optimistic. जो
We
बहुत
get
डिप्रेसिंग बात करते हैं ना श्रेया, उनको हम बुलाते ही नहीं. हम उन्हीं लोगों को बुलाते हैं जो बहुत पॉजिटिव बात करते हैं, जो मुस्कुराते हैं, अच्छा अपने बिजनेस के लिए बहुत ऑप्टिमिज्म, जो कहते हैं हाय लुट गए, उनकी होएगा, उनसे सारा कुछ मुक गया, कुछ दुनिया
hmm.
सारी खत्म हो गई, तो सब बर्बाद हो गए, उन लोगों को हम नहीं बुलाते हैं. हम वी ओनली कॉल पीपल हु आर ऑप्टिमिस्टिक. तो द इंस्पिरेशनल कोट इज खुद ही को कर बुलंद इतना,
Mhm.
खुद ही को कर बुलंद इतना कि हर हर मैं उसको आसान कर देता हूं, हर कर्म से पहले खुदा तेरे से पूछे कि बता तेरी रजा क्या है. आप अपने आप को इतना डिटर्मिन कर लीजिए, यू मेक योरसेल्फ सो स्ट्रांग दैट भगवान भी आपसे पूछे भैया बता तुझे क्या चाहिए, मैं तो हार गया तेरे आगे, तू
Exactly.
बता तुझे
Exactly.
चाहिए क्या. एंड आई थिंक दैट इज व्हाट श्रेया कटियाल इज ऑल अबाउट, इफ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग.
So फिर मैं कब आ रही हूँ आपकी शो पे?
Oh, you can come anytime. I'll ask the team to get in touch with you, and they'll locate. It'll be a pleasure. It'll
It's
be a pleasure.
really it's really an honor to every time to meet you, talk to you, get so much of knowledge and positivity, of course. So thanks for joining us today and sprinkling
Pleasure.
lots of great vibrations on us. Keep on doing your great work. And I really want to meet you in person again after the lockdown. That's what
It'll be a
everyone is,
pleasure.
waiting for, to get back to action.
Yeah, yeah. All right. All the best. Thank you so much. Keep smiling and inspiring people. Bye.